Camera's running, isn't it? It seems that this transit strike, for whatever reason, good or bad, seems to be spilling over and encouraging others to strike or threaten to strike.
Yeah, we have a potential strike with the Halifax Water Commission. And again, it's interesting because both the unions are coming out about now quality of life issues. And that's not resounding with most people that have to go to work. I don't get to choose my hours of work. I have missed, as a politician, I've missed my kids' birthdays. I've missed communion, graduation. That's part of, if you're going to be out in the public sector, that's part of the sacrifice that you do commit to. So it's an interesting one, and I think the most intriguing for me about this strike is that the power of social media has really taken over. So people, there are those that you'll hear inconvenience, but if you talk to the press, they're not really finding a ton of people at this point that are really inconvenienced, because very much like Hurricane Juan, the community is stepping up to help the community. I have friends that are in Sackville, they're carpooling, they park in my driveway, they all walk to St. Mary's. I've had many neighbors open up their driveways free of charge to say, I have a driveway, you need a driveway, because everyone understands that this isn't easy for all sides around. But
there's a full spectrum too, because you have some people that are getting to work later or having to leave earlier.
Right.
You have some people, depending upon the bus route, that are leaving at the same time and getting to work sooner.
Yeah, and you're the inherent danger is that people think that HRM saves money during a strike. Well, transit is our our largest corporate money-losing entity, and that's fine. It's a service we provide. But if, what happens is you lose the ridership, so it takes you months to get that ridership back to the level, because you'll hear often on the radio, I'm never going back to Metro Transit. I've gotten to know my friends and coworkers. We're going to carpool for the rest of our days. So you look at this strike, it's either I raise the general tax rate or I raise the fare at the box. They're only, those are the options I'm faced with at this point.
It does seem that too often the unions would like to carry on as if they should be immune from market forces that everybody else has to deal with.
And it's difficult. I mean, the unions have a valuable role to play in our society, but again, if you're not going to be willing to come to your employer with some concessions or a way to say, you know what, we think there's a better way to do this, because so far, as an example, the Metro Transit strike, the union hasn't come to HRM with one conciliation or one offer about how to do business better.
So what are your thoughts on the potential pending strike over at the Herald?
As companies try and stay profitable with their head above, it's no secret that the circulation at the Herald's down. So they've had to make changes, but the unions are resisting that change. So, you can either lock everyone out, or you're going to have to figure out a way how people are going to be able to work together but work more efficiently. So I guess, Paul, if you and I were married and we weren't getting along, but we went to 13, we've had 13 fights, I think I would apply for a marriage counselor. This is what we're doing now. It's no different than a bad marriage. That's why I'm single.
Good to know. Sue, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate your time and look forward to keeping up on the goings-on with all this exciting stuff.
Thank you.
Still think you should run for mayor? Then you have a good excuse to come back on the show.
This is true.
And speaking of running for mayor, stay tuned. We're going to talk about parking in the city.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.